So we are now day 37, heading into day 38 of Donald Trump's shutdown. I want to give you the latest, go over some numbers, and let's just jump right in. So first, the market is taking a hit today and actually this week. Headline then, stock market today, NASDAQ falls to end worst week since April. It's not a good time right now. Consumer sentiment is also down. U.S. consumer sentiment drops to near record low as shutdown persists. Basically, this measures what do people think about the future. And they're looking at it's like government's closed, companies are firing, costs are high. It's awful out there. Of course, consumer sentiment is going to drop like this. And then you look at the stock market. That's what it says. Tech stocks suffer worst week since April after 800 billion AI sell-off. The bubble is popping. It's already being compared to the dot-com bubble. Let me read this for you. Here's a quote. AI-related capital expenditures are substantial, right? We're putting a whole bunch of money to build these data centers. Increasingly debt-financed. Oh, well, we're borrowing a bunch of money to put into said data centers, right? What else? And reminiscent of the 2000 tech bubble's frenzy of questionable investments. So put it all together. We're throwing a bunch of money into data centers, right, to effectively replace all the workers. We're borrowing money to do that. And some of this stuff that we might be doing, yes, is indeed questionable, like the dot-com bubble. Because if you remember the dot-com bubble, it's like, oh, wow, it's a website. It's the internet. It must make money. And people are like, well, it's robots. It's automation. We're replacing people. Wow, it must make money. But ultimately, this is going to pop. It's going to be completely unsustainable. I've been talking about this before several times on the channel, and you're seeing it. And then as a reflection of sort of where we are right now, I want to show you a couple different numbers. Canada unemployment rate falls to 6.9%. So before Canada unemployment was around 7.1, something like that. Now it's 6.9. We don't get national numbers from the U.S. right now because Trump government is shut down. They're not putting out numbers, but we do have some numbers. This is from the Chicago Fed. They're saying 4.4% in October, talking about unemployment. Now, I'm showing you these two numbers because Canada is obviously substantially higher. And there's a couple different ways you could read this. So one, you could say, okay, Canada's economic situation is worse. You could argue that, right? It's a smaller economy. They're taking a major hit from the trade war with Trump. You could also argue that Canada calculates their unemployment a bit differently than the USA. And it could be a combination of all of these things. But I'm willing to bet, though, that U.S. unemployment is a little bit closer to what Canada is saying and could be even worse. I'm just saying I'm willing to bet that. I would say that when you look at this stuff for, say, U.S. unemployment, oftentimes if someone's like, you know what, I'm just checked out of the system, I'm not going to be looking anymore, I'm not doing anything, I just give up, then oftentimes they sort of drop out of the numbers. And we don't even have official government numbers right now to really know. But I'm saying it's in my opinion, I wouldn't be shocked if it's higher than this. And even if you are employed, you just feel like you're not getting paid enough because these things are too expensive. And when you look at Trump's plan, remember consumer sentiment is falling. The Trump people, this is Mirren, this is one of Trump's appointee people, and he's trying to stack the Fed with his people to basically lower rates and get the borrowing going and the crypto going. This is their plan. This is the headline right now. Fed's Mirren, this is one of Trump's people, says stable coin surge could help push interest rates lower. Yes, stable coin. Talking about crypto stuff. Let me read a quote. This is their plan. It's crypto's going to save us, guys. AI and crypto. That's their plan. Stable coins may become a multi-trillion-dollar elephant in the room for central bankers. It even sounds like a Trumper, right? Trump's always talking about, these trillions of dollars are coming in. We're going to be so rich, right? So stable coins, multi-trillion-dollar elephant in the room is what they say. Stable coins are already increasing demand for U.S. Treasury bills and other dollar-denominated liquid assets by purchasers outside the United States, and this will demand continuing growing. So what they're saying is, okay, in order to fund the government, we're going to get all this crypto money from outside the USA. Wow, brilliant plan. And we're going to have like this stable coin system. And I guess we're all going to Trump coins. Funded by foreign money. I mean, this won't end well. I think it's pretty obvious it's not going to end well. And when I see this stuff, it really feels like a South Park timeline. If you guys saw the latest South Park, they were making jokes about the crypto stuff. And the sad thing about it, it's actually not a joke in the sense of that is our reality. a reality is you got these people, wanting to do this nonsense Trumpy coin stuff. And then it's all going to be regulated by the Trumpers, which means no regulations. And so then you get this kind of stuff, which basically is the canary in the coal mine, right? Tesla rewards Elon Musk reality distortion field. If you want to watch the Elon Musk event that was yesterday where he gets his trillion pin package, you can. He says the same crap that he always says. You're all going to have a robot buddy. We're all going to be rich. I'm going to eliminate poverty, blah, 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 blah. And if any of this stuff were true, you would be helping regular people right now. But what's he doing? He's literally dancing with his robots because he just got his trillion pay package. Elon Musk gets his trillion pay package, dollar pay package, billion, trillion. Who's counting anymore? Great. Now, regards to the shutdown, Democrats did have a plan to say, you know what, let's get things open. Basically, let's take our current law regarding the healthcare, right, the ACA, the Obamacare, whatever you want to call it, and let's extend it out for a year. That actually doesn't sound too unreasonable. Democrats offered to end shutdown for 1 year healthcare subsidy extension. This is a fight for healthcare. They're saying keep the current system, extend it for a year. Already people are getting letters in the mail realizing, oh my God, the Democrats weren't kidding. Costs are going up. We basically got screwed by the Republicans. Essentially what it is. So what do Republicans do with this deal? A Democratic leader offers deal to reopen government, but Republicans sneer. Of course they do. And that's where we are right now. I think there is a possibility. They could come out with something this weekend because, in my opinion, this isn't a crazy offer. Keep the current system. Let's just control healthcare costs. And they're also saying like, hey, let's form a committee to try to come up with something else. I think the shutdown just can't go into, well, okay, physically or I guess how our government works, the shutdown could go on for however long they're going to do it. But politically speaking and practically speaking, when the airports are now, what are we talking about? 20% reduction. We just talked about this. This is the last video. Before it was 10, now it's 20. It could even go higher. That shuts down so much economic activity. We're just all losers here. If that, all around we're losers. I don't know how to put it. And then you look at this. This is what Trump's up to these days. Trump asked Justice Department to probe meat packers on prices. So I guess now we're attacking meat packers. For real, that's what he's actually doing. This is a tweet. He tweets out all day, every day, right? I have asked the DOJ to immediately begin an investigation into meat packing companies who are driving up price of beef through illicit collusion, price fixing, price manipulation. That's according to Trump. He thinks so. He's going to talk about legal monopolies, blah, blah, blah. Let's attack the meat packers. Okay, great. And, this represents, this is a real picture. I read through many comments where people thought this was AI. And honestly, like when I first saw it, I was like, okay, someone just sort of, took that situation and maybe highlighted some stuff. No, this is actually a real picture. This was what's going on. And we watched the video before. Some dude collapses and Trump's just like, huh, what's going on? Okay. Keep the camera on me. Oh, he's fine. Let's keep rolling. And during the same event, I guess he was sleeping. So we have photos of the dude sleeping. What? It's sad. It's laughable. It's ridiculous, absurd, all at the same time. And this is just basic stuff. How about we feed our people? The Trump people are like, no, why would I want to feed anybody? Why would I want to do that? And then you got this. Trump administration asks for emergency pause on judge's order to fully fund SNAP. So basically, Trump and his people are doing their best to not fund food. That's where they spend their energy. And they're going to call them, we need an emergency pause on giving food money to people. To them, that's what they're focused on. I was over looking at Fox News. It was actually kind of interesting. You're always curious what they're doing up there. They're even talking about the 1 year deal. Schumer Democrats pitch shutdown plan tied to 1 year Obamacare subsidy extension. This is Fox News even reporting that. So it's making the Republicans look bad when they don't take it. Why? We were just looking at polling data. It's like 3/4 of Americans are okay with the Obamacare thing as it is. So extend it for a year, figure out something better if you got something, right? Not concepts of a plan, not concept of an idea, not a framework, figure out something. And so if you don't have anything, don't just cancel everyone's healthcare as costs will go up. So I don't think that's an unreasonable deal. And even Fox News is running it. And then they're also talking about how, I guess, Orban was looking to hire Karen Levitt and Trump's partying Daryl Strawberry. from the 1986 Mets. That's really what's going on. While we're in a shutdown and people are struggling for food, I think Trump's going to try to drag us into Gaza. This is the headline right now. U.S. steps up presence in Gaza to support fragile ceasefire. He had kind of hinted at this stuff before, sending Americans over there. I know he wants to build his hotels and casinos in Gaza, but you just have to put this all in context, right? Where the government shut down, Trump wants to build ballrooms, and now going to Gaza, I guess. I'll read what it says. It says the U.S. military-led, quote, coordination center, that's what we're calling it, coordination center, charged with implementing President Donald Trump's peace plan in Gaza Strip, is replacing Israel as the overseer of humanitarian aid to the enclave, even as multiple people familiar with the center's first weeks of operations have described it as chaotic and indecisive. And there's more. Several people familiar with the transition said the move relegates Israel to a secondary role in determining how and what humanitarian relief can enter Gaza as CMCC takes the lead. So essentially what you're looking at is I don't know if it's really going to happen, if we're going to send soldiers there or whatever, American soldiers on the ground, but I wouldn't be shocked at this point because Trump's doing whatever he can to, I think, set up his retirement, be it in Argentina. Maybe for all we know, Trump now wants to go to Gaza. Maybe he's covering all his, bases because, he's pissing off so many people. We got to make sure you got lots of exit plans. That's what it looks like to me. And when you go into where we are right now with the government shut down and the economy looking weak, consumer sentiment is down, winter is coming. And I mean, literally. And I think a lot of people are going to have a tough winter. I'll just be frank with you guys. Cold records dating back to the 1800s may be broken by the coming Arctic freeze. So we're looking at it, and it's going to start soon. It just says here, the first freezing Arctic outbreak of the season is heading for the United States this weekend into next week. Some states will see their first snowfall. These are some of the temperatures. So this is what we're looking at is while the government shut down, while planes, flights are being canceled, winter is coming. It's going to be cold. Electricity is expensive. You guys know this. Energy is expensive. And so people are going to be struggling with keeping the heat on, struggling with putting food on the table, and just struggling to survive in Donald Trump's America when you thought you had a good job, be it, with the government. You're not getting paid. You're being told don't come into work. And whilst the USA is melting down and Trump's own people are falling down, he's looking for the camera spotlight. That's Trump. He'll tell you everything's fine, but you know what's going on in your neck of the woods. I do appreciate your time. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next video.